Hey everyone! Hello. It is Tuesday Vibes Live. Yes. Hey Sam, nice to see you. Hey Ben, Ben89, Ben89. Hey Lisa, nice to see you. I always love when y'all start popping up on the feed. My feed goes slower. So if you're writing a question into me that's more of spiritual nature, not like a psychic reading, please have patience that I will get to it because I'm talking faster than the feed is moving. So I appreciate your patience. I wanted to pop in today as just sort of like a temperature check to see how everybody is doing. We're in some very interesting energies here in eclipse season. Hi, Jack. So nice to see you. And what I wanted to chat a little bit about today is honoring the integration of our shadow sides. So our shadow is the part of us that we typically push down, that we don't want to deal with. It's our dark side. It's the side that we want to ignore. We don't want to admit that we have this ugly part of us. But it's part of being human. So everybody's got that ugly part of us. And these days, that shadow side is bubbling up. And it is making us very agitated. It's making us remember the past and past traumas that we may have experienced. It's bringing up conversations we don't want to have. And it's bringing up a lot of insecurities from our childhood. And in a nutshell, it's not fun. I will tell you all that it fucking sucks. Yes. And no one is exempt at this time. Even animals are going through their own integrational change. And what's interesting is that Mother Earth Magic 18, she's like, nope, it's not. Like, yes, these days suck. I know. I'm with you, sister. I'm with you. So we are being called to, and when I say call, I'm actually being very nice and very pleasant when I say call, because really the word is forced to recognize and admit, honor, and integrate this shadow part of ourself. And since it is also Mercury retrograde, we're supposed to be reviewing it. So people are experiencing, I know I am, a lot of anxiety. And people are also experiencing depression. Now, if you guys know me at all, follow me or anything like that, you understand or you know my concept of time traveling, which shows up in anxiety and depression. So for me, anxiety is traveling to the future, right? You're worried about things that haven't quite yet happened. And then depression is traveling to the past where you're regretting or reviewing things that you should have done differently or could have done differently. So to me, I see anxiety and depression as a type of time travel. And we are experiencing some serious emotional time travel right now. And we're being called to actually integrate this part of ourselves, okay? Mother Earth Magic is asking if this happens in dreams. Girl, it doesn't just happen in dreams. This happens in real life, IRL. Yes. Dreams can be a way that we are psychologically and oftentimes spiritually working crap out. But right now, primarily this time period is in real time, real life. in our human current lifetime. We're dealing right now with human current lifetime crap, okay? There may have been energetic imprints from past lives that we've carried to this lifetime right now. But right now, at this time in universal time, we're also in the pre-age of Aquarius, which I believes, right? Thank you, Mercury retrograde. I believe we start to get into late 2020. Don't hold me to that because I don't know that offhand right now. It's research I have to do. But we're in the pre-age of Aquarius times right now. So we're actually being called to deal with our crap right now in this human body, in this human lifetime. So dealing with our current trauma now and our bullshit now, we're actually healing lifetimes past as well. So that's what's a lot of what's going on. Yeah, Sam is saying she has so much anxiety she can barely open her mouth and her jaw hurts so bad. By the way, Sam, I also am having job. Thank you, Mercury retrograde. Jaw issues as well. Just an FYI, Sam, I don't know how this fits for you. You're going to have to try this on like a coat. If you don't like it, take it off if it doesn't feel right. For me, my jaw issues come from me being too hard on myself and not being compassionate and kind to myself. And when I start to go into a space of the inner critic and I should do this and I can't believe I'm not doing this and I'm embarrassed and I should that's for me where it shows up in my jaw. And when I start to be nice to myself and compassionate to myself, I do feel it alleviate. So I don't know if that helps or not. I don't know if that feels right to you or not. It may not be your same issue, but that's where that shows up in my body. I thought I would give you that. But, you know, human beings, the way we humans are is that we like to have outcomes. We like to know results. It gives us a type of control, right? So we oftentimes are living in a world of extremes, black or white. And I've recently, in the past week, a fellow coach of mine brought to my attention that I am very much like that. And I am learning, and I have to now practice, that we, these days, energetically, and for this current lifetime, we're being called to integrate that shadow part of ourselves. Oh, Sam, that resonates with you. Awesome. Cool. So we're asked to create an and, not an or in these days, right? So, you know, if we're experiencing fear, which I know a lot of us are, I know I am in many areas of my life, what we're being called to do is deal with all of this shadow part of ourselves so we can say, I am scared and I'm going to move forward doing XYZ anyways, instead of I am scared, so I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z. Or I'm going to do X, Y, and Z when I'm not scared. That's the or, where you're making a choice of doing one thing or the other. No. The new spiritual paradigm, where we are going, is not black or white. It is not think positive and you'll get there. It's not. It's more of that. It's the and. It's the I am scared, I feel lonely, I feel sad, and I'm still going to do things. And I'm still going to do self-care. And I'm still going to seek a relationship. So we're being called to integrate, okay? That is the new spiritual paradigm. That is where we are heading. It's not love and light, okay? And I'm sorry if I'm breaking people's bubbles or they don't like this, but that is not the new spiritual paradigm. The new spiritual paradigm is about acceptance of the shadow selves and moving forward. That is called integration. The world, life on planet Earth is not black or white anymore. It's just not. So this time period that we're in, we are really, truly learning how to integrate this scary, ugly part of ourselves with the wonderful, awesome part of ourselves, and no longer live in that space of we either have to be happy or we're angry. No, we can actually be angry and happy at the same time. But in action and implementation, because happiness and anger, for example, energetically on the same frequency, they're not in alignment. So when I say that, don't take that as literal or exact. But what I'm saying is that it's not just about, well, think positive. And if something, you're not manifesting anything, it's because you're not thinking positive. No. Our universe is so much stronger and so much smarter than that, okay? So much smarter than that. If we have a bad day or even a bad month of feeling like crap, right? But we learn how to integrate that with positive implementation and positive action while still moving forward, we can manifest the shit out of things, okay? So remember, the key word now is integration. It's about the and, it's not the extremes. And so right now, that's what we are learning. And once we learn that and we get that, then we practice it. And this is something, I've said this in many of my posts. Human beings do not come with manuals. Human beings are complicated. And there's no cookie cutter human being, right? So, so just a heads up, Buttercup, that's what's going on, okay? So we're in this process of learning to accept this shadow side of ourselves and then practice the integration. So it looks like I have a couple questions here. Allie Always 10 asks, how long is this time period? So right now, this crappy time period or this really hard period of, the shadow self bubbling up, we should, now I'm not the end all be all, I'm not perfect, not all knowing, but just in some of the research that I've read and just some of the astrologers that I've spoken with, and just what I also feel, technically by August 1st, but for me, it feels like there's still some sort of residual energy that needs to be integrated. So I feel like a lot of this by mid-August, we should feel some alleviation. Throughout the rest of 2019, we are being called to level up in so many ways. But this shadow side coming up, these lessons that we're really learning that are really deep into the core of your soul, this is like deep, hard soul work shit that we're doing. This is not light stuff. And if you haven't quite experienced it yet, just heads up, Buttercup, it's a coming. Then that's what it feels like to me. We should be feeling some alleviation around mid-August. Now, Mercury is in retrograde, which is exacerbating all of this, by the way. And it stations direct on July 31st. But there is the shadow period. It's typically 2 weeks. Now, the shadow period of this recent Mercury retrograde, which started about June 20th, it's personally hit me so hard, like smack, like gut punch. Ugh. So the shadow periods, which is right before the planets station retrograde or station direct, can oftentimes be the strongest magnetic pull because of the force of energy it's taking to move backwards. So hopefully that gives you some an answer. Okay, Queen Emesis says, what are the best ways to pull yourself out of a time period when the shadow self is in full control? That's an awesome picture. Because I'm seeing all these emojis. That's an awesome question. Really, the best way to do it is just to acknowledge it. Like, you're a human being and you're having these ugly thoughts. Most of them are lies about yourself anyways that are not even true. So you have to acknowledge them. That's part of the integration. You have to go, okay, this is coming up. And then you can start to just sort of assess and just say what is really the truth of this, right? What is really the truth of this? Now, if you're experiencing depression or anxiety from this, really what I have found, because this is a personal thing for me, is I have found that physical activity, moving my body, helps that energy that could be trapped to release from it. I'm also a person that can't meditate very easily. Okay. And there are people who can't meditate at all. So you have to find a different way to get to the same conclusion, right? So typically, depression, exercise is really good for depression because it releases all those yummy endorphins. And for anxiety, it can definitely release all of that tension and anxiety and all those adrenaline and adrenals, that all those chemicals being expressed when you're in survival mode. If you are able to meditate, by all means, slowing down, gathering in your energy, gathering in your auric field, because so many of us, we're out there, we're outside. So it's about getting back into your body and feeling safe within your body, safe in your earth suit, safe in the container. So that's really what you want to be doing, is you want to get back into your body, into your container, and then you can help soothe the mind. All right. So really it's about acknowledging and giving yourself permission to feel and think these ugly thoughts, feelings, and all of that. Typically when you acknowledge them, because that's what they want to be acknowledged, they will dissipate because they're just asking to be noticed. And as soon as you notice it, ta-da! You know what I've done in the past? This is something so silly. I can't believe I'm actually saying this publicly. All right, fuck it. I'll say it. I have invited fear for a cup of tea. I heard Matt Kahn do this repeat after me. He's famous for repeat after me's, and he was talking about fear and all this stuff. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to invite. So I had this total imagination session where I had tea and cookies, and I'm like, pulled out a chair for fear to sit in. Now, fear didn't have a face. It was just this big block of black blob. But I was like, come fear, have a seat. Can I pour some tea for you? And it was like, I acknowledged the fear, and I was like, dude, this is so weird. But I'm like, all right. And I felt better. My body felt calmer. I was taking myself out of survival mode. So I know that's silly, you guys, but acknowledgement. That is the best way to pull yourself out of this space and get really honest and authentic with yourself. You know, we think that there's this idea of perfection and we have to be a certain way and say a certain thing and do a certain thing and look and this, and there's no such thing as perfection. And the more we actually live life imperfectly, the more we can kind of sort of enjoy it, you know? So I hope that answers your question. Let's see here. Mother Earth Magic, do I do astrology? No. I know my very basics, but I do a lot of research on it. But I can feel the energy. I'm an empath, I'm a psychic, and I'm a medium, and I'm highly intuitive, and I know people really well. But I can tap into energy. So a lot of times what's happening is I'm feeling what the astrological, how do I want to call it? Mathematical formulas are saying. I feel the energy behind it. So that's me. So I'm not an astrologer, but I know some really good ones. Oh my God, there's some really great ones. Okay. Life Photo Challenge asks, how does the rest of the retrogrades play into shadow work? Well, the primary shadow work period is until July 31st. It's the month of July. We do have retrogrades that go all the way through to November. And a lot of the times it's just it's slower. Just remember, with retrogrades, everything is moving slower. So the way the rest of the retrogrades play in shadow work is right now we have about 6 going on. So they're all let's do this. So they're kind of building energy on top of each other, and they're sort of like, if you want to call it, instigating each other, that's something that you could say. But they are very active and present in their own meanings and in their own cleanings out, if we want to call it. So hopefully that answers your question. Hi, Bana. Nice to see you guys. I'm so grateful all you guys are here. This is so awesome. Thank you so much for showing up, and all your emojis. Oh, you guys sure know how to make a Leo feel special. Oh, Queen Emesis, I'm so sorry that you're sobbing. This resonates so much with you. It's been a rough couple of months. Yes, I know, I'm with you. It's been really, really hard. And like I said, nobody is exempt. Even animals. Notice your pets. See if they're more anxious right now too, as well. Life Photo Challenge says that she loves the idea of having tea with fear. You're going to try that. Yeah, your shadow self probably needs a party. Believe me, nobody is exempt from this as long as you're wearing an earth suit. So, all right, guys, I am going to head out. I just wanted to pop in and just let you guys know that as cheesy as this sounds, it's totally cheesy, but we are in all of this together. We really are. And it's like we need each other in order to get through this time period, because taking on an earth suit is really about relationships, relating to other people. A soul cannot experience anything, shifts, changes, nothing, upgrades, up-levelings, evolution without a physical container, which is our body, our earth suit. So how our soul experiences, grows, levels up, evolves is through the earth suit. All right, guys? So we are all in this together. We really, really are. Hi, Christy. So good to see you. So the key right now is to accept where we are, to accept who we are, and to try and be as kind and compassionate to ourselves as possible while we upgrade and get through this time. But don't worry, we will. We have no other choice. We got to go through it, right? Every time we try and go around it, we get caught, don't we? All right, guys, have a fabulous rest of your day. Thank you so much for supporting me and writing in your questions. And I'll see y'all on the flip side.